Welcome back to this here haphazard scene, and BAM! Little floating fire! Look at it go! This is something I couldn't show off last time, due to it not existing in visible space. This is something that I create. I sit down on the floor, strike something together, create a little fire, a little pyrokinetic beam of energy. It's supposed to be in a ball. Tried to animate that, didn't work out, but it collides. I can take it over here and it'll melt things, like all fires do. This is an extension of our game mechanics currently. It can reach places we cannot. It can melt things in front of people we cannot be seen by. Opening up paths, that sort of thing. Mechanically, it pisses us out, but also mechanically, it is very inherently satisfying just to move around. The way the acceleration works is you start off going in a direction, and it'll just keep on going. I want it to go right, it'll keep on going right. Bring it to a halt, take it up, take it down, whatever you like. Doesn't follow the cursor, but it is affected by the mouse, so I can move myself independently as this travels. There you go, that's about all there is to it. So my plans for this are numerous, of course. First of all, the duration is currently about 50 seconds, so if I shrink that right down to, say, 5, that's something more like what I intend for this to put into effect. So now when I create one, after about 5 seconds, it's disappeared. There are ways of topping this up. Take it to a decent sort of heat source or somewhere you'd expect to fire, like this stove, which I explained last time, how this is a stove, and it reboosts itself. It'll stay there indefinitely. The little denizen has stopped. It's approached the stove. In an ideal world, he's sat down, he or she, massive ball of clothing, whatever it is, has sat down, keeping itself warm at this. I take it away, and they start moving again. Of course, I can melt the ice, and that'll have the same effect. Allow them to keep walking past that ice. Ooh. Goes into reverse direction. That's a new one. Ah, he's actually being caught on this ice. Okay, hang on. This is real time. Yeah. So imagining other heat sources, chandeliers, things like that. Different ways of moving it around, having it travel up these pipes, for instance, to get places outside the boundaries. Not too far afield, but, you know, enough for it to be a worthwhile thing that you can use alongside yourself. There are a bunch of other variables, so as well as the duration, that's the sort of thing that you could improve through level ups, that sort of thing. Your abilities improve with time. You can ask for more duration. You can get greater distance for the heat. I can turn that up to something utterly ludicrous and see what happens there. Yep, that starts affecting the ice all the way over here, as intended, and just eclipses it out of reality because it's too intense a heat source. I can affect the gravity. That's something I can do. So if I do that, I kind of end up with something that falls straight to the ground, and I can't raise up again. So that could be a earlier version of it. You start off with something that falls to the ground. The physics of this particular object don't really matter, do they? Probably not. It falls to the ground, so what? It's a fireball that you've conjured. You can make it float though, so I can see all sorts of ways this could earlier level design could work with this sort of mentality, and then it's still affected by stoves and what have you. Yeah, who knows? So that's what I've got so far. Over on the coding side, the movement is exactly the same as the player and these denizens, so it's very easy to manipulate. If I wanted to make it bounce, I suppose I could. Who knows? I've already turned this off, so yeah, I can create as many as I like for now, but that's going to get turned off at some point. That's fairly satisfying. Let's take that gravity back, because this is where it's at. Yeah. And just to finish off, how I drew this, the reason I did a pilot light, and the reason I've called it a piloted light, because I'm a fan of bizarre little puns like that. It's something that I'm literally piloting around. Is the idea of having a small sort of beginnings of a heat source that sparks life into other things, provides some warmth, maybe some bit hazardous, but only if you choose for it to be. Originally, I had it turn into this ball, sort of over time. This is a sprite sheet. These kind of spider snakes come out of the door and whip it into a ball. It doesn't really work well in motion, so I've turned that off for now. But there you have it. A whole other mechanic. Who knows what I might do with it. I'm pulling a face. But yes, thank you for watching. See you next time.